What is up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Darkest Dungeon. My name is Splattercat. Happy to have you here today as we hang out for a while and dive into a game that I like quite a bit. This is one of those sterling examples of what can happen when indie development goes oh so right. There are a lot of examples of what can happen when things go oh so wrong, and so when we get these limited examples, it's nice to kind of put them out there and make people aware of the game so that they can check it out. I tend to think sometimes that I'm a little bit detached from the general gaming population because it's my job to refresh Steam every day and to be on like itch.io looking at projects, and it's my job to be aware of indie games. That's what I do for a living here on the internet. And so sometimes I forget that even the games that seem really, really big and really famous to me, people may not know about them, and so putting them on the channel might be their first introduction to the game. Darkest Dungeon is one of those games that I don't feel bad about introducing people to at all. Very, very cool little title. I think he would pair very, very nicely with Vaudeville. That's what I think. I think he would do very... Oh, he has to be in the back line to use it. Never mind then. I thought he could use it from the third slot. Okay. Well, what are you going to do? Greslet. Let's get rid of his Sidiomania. It locked. It locked. That's very, very unfortunate. Really? He's got... Ooh, you can lock good things, too, so that they don't fall off. Hard Skinned is very, very, very good. If you can get that in there, and then you can also get him a couple pieces of equipment that give him prot, he'll have like 30% damage reduction natively, and he'll just be a wrecking ball. He came in like a wrecking ball! He's not... I don't know. Every now and again he gets naked, and you'd be like, really? That can fall off when you have leprosy? Like, yep, anything can fall off when you have leprosy. Noses. Ears. Kind of a terrifying disease like that. Calmet has not gotten his first upgrade. Neither has either of the rogues. We're having trouble making money this time around. A lot of trouble. I may have to just get rid of some trinkets or something. This one's too good to get rid of. We're going to put that on Greslet so that his accuracy is a little bit better. That gets us up to 7,600. I'd like to stack some cash. His name's Greaser now. Greslet sounds kind of like grease, or like grasa, which is fat in Spanish, but I don't know. That's like when they say there's this amount of fat on the back of the box. It's like there's this amount of grasa. Whereas gordo would be if you were calling somebody fat or gorda. Gotta roll that R, the gorda. Gotta roll the R. Some people can't roll their R's. Interesting to me. I learned, like, I had a basic education in Spanish during the course of my life just based on where I live. A lot of people speak Spanish. And then I worked in a restaurant for a while. And so speaking Spanish is definitely a utility you're going to need to pick up there. So, what do we want to do right now? We got to stick to the wheel, I think. Although I'm not really super stoked about running up in there on a medium mission. I'd want to be a little bit more careful about my party comp if we're doing a medium. I'd want to bring people along that I know for a fact are going to have my ass. Have my back. They will reinforce my booty in case things go wrong. Running double healer is going to be tempting, but in general I would recommend against it. Running double healer can be kind of weird, especially if you end up with... You can end up with bosses that are pretty strong against groups that don't have enough DPS to get through. One of the early strategies for the game was just to turtle the entire time, as hard as you could. And in that situation, the developers, I think, put a lot of safeguards in the game to keep you from turtling and just making groups that are indestructible. So they made a lot of bosses, they're kind of DPS races and things like that. I don't think it would be too bad of a decision to run both of these guys. What camp skills do they have? They have Encourage, Bloody Shroud, and Reflection. Self only. What does he have? Wound Care, Bloody Shard, and Quarantine. That could be alright in conjunction with some of the other bandage abilities. He's got Bandito Sense. He's got Clean Guns, which is a really, really, really good ability if you're going up against bosses or whatever. I would highly recommend it. And she's got wound care, she's got bless, and she's got chant. We do have a fully religious party, so that would also be pretty solid. Let's go ahead. I think we should go after it. Let's do a medium mission for the first time. We got firewood now. That means that we can camp when we're inside the dungeon. I'm going to bring those. I usually bring about 20 food when I go in. We may or may not need those. Sort of iffy. I would bring extra shovels just in case. 3 to 4. Usually seems pretty safe for me when I do these. I don't use holy water very often, and we're going into the Weald, so I don't think we're going to need holy water. So I'll probably leave it. Let's embark. So we need to go in on 100% of the room battles, which means that this could be a bit of a slog for us. I actually very much prefer the ones where you're just exploring. They tend to be easier to conclude. The ones with the room battles mean normally that you have to be super thorough on your way through the dungeon. And that being the case, being super thorough takes longer. And being super thorough leaves you open to constantly being attacked and bothered by things and harassed. There are no room battles back here. I'm going to step in here and see what the loot is, because I want it. At which point we're going to go right back out the door. I don't want to use any of my shovels here if I can help it. And since this entire area over here is a bust with no treasure or anything else, I mean, it's got 2 curios, but those could be anything. Those could be things that are non-interactable, so I'm not going to waste my time in that corner. We're going to go full tilt in the right direction. And actually, this is pretty small for a medium dungeon. Wouldn't worry about it that much. We'll use a shovel since we got a freebie. That'll give us some an emerald and some citrines. Citrine is just like yellow, nasty quartz. That's all that it is. It's just quartz with impurities.
A blazing star is born.
What'll end up happening in the mineralogy of all this is that when stuff like this crystallizes, it either crystallizes under temperature or under stress or under some perfect combination of both, which is why some minerals are very, very rare and hard to come by. However, why is it that you get purple quartz sometimes? Why is it that you get yellow quartz sometimes? Why is it that you get green quartz or whatever sometimes? It's because of impurities. When it goes to build its chemical formula, normally a quartz crystal is SiO4, or I guess SiO2. I don't know, it's been a while since chemistry. You can balance for me, you chemists out there in the crowd. Maybe it's SiO2. SiO4 seems high. Yeah, it's gotta be, because silica's a +4 and O is a minus... Yeah, 2, so it's gotta be SiO2. Anyways, school aside...
Destroy them all.
I think. People can still check my work. Pooh Bear letting it loose on our spidery foe right there. They call her Pooh Bear for a reason. She defecates with reckless abandon whenever she's assailed. Sometimes it's enough to get the monster to let go. Just shit all over yourself. Now you're all nasty and they don't want to eat you anymore. As I was saying though, sometimes the things that it needs are not available in order to complete its chemical structure. So let's say there's not enough oxygen around, it might grab something else in order to balance its equation and reach a... All stone and all crystals want to be at a balanced state, the most stable state that they can get to. And I think that transfers over for most chemical compounds, as far as I can remember. I didn't bring any holy water with me. Use holy water on that thing right there. In case... Oh, shit. This is not so good. Yeah, this is sort of not bueno right now. There we go.
Give them no quarter.
Dismas is having a rough afternoon. Huh. Dizzy, you gonna be alright? I don't think Dizzy's feeling so good. Oh, he's on death's door. That's fun. So what happens, they don't die when they hit 0 HP. They're on a thing called Death's Door, which puts a permanent debuff on them until the end of the quest. Means they take more damage and stuff like that. You can heal them up and out of it. It's not that hard to remedy. In fact, you can just heal them for 1 and they should be able to survive it perfectly fine. I got an extra food right there too, so let's go ahead and go in on that. I feel like we've got missing food right now. Do we already have to eat a meal? I don't think we're going to need this many torches, so I'm going to dump the torches. I think we need holy water in order to finish that off, and I didn't bring any because I'm a putz. Let's go ahead and scout a little bit. Secret doors, huh? Anybody want to give us a secret door? I'm pretty sure we're going to have loads and loads and loads of battles over here because we didn't get any on this side. And I think there's like a minimum when it generates the map. There's like a, ow. God.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
Disarm that trap right there. Dismas is having a real nasty day. I'd feel faint too if I was you. I can't really feed him much more either, unfortunately.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Alright. Another backline fight. Unfortunate for this group, because this is not what they excel at. Let's go ahead. I want to get him out of the danger zone right now. The danger zone! Highway to the danger zone. Ba, ba, ba. I watched that music video, and that is seriously like the worst music video I've ever seen. Just like Kenny Loggins laying on a bed while jet fighters fly overhead. I mean, it teams with freedom, but it's also... freedom definitely intensifies during that music video. You can tell it was definitely sponsored by a recruiting agency of some kind. It had to be. Go in on that right there, because it's the best that I can do for right now. And now, what I'd like to do is start whittling her down. If we don't get pushed back and moved around too much, we should be fine with everything that's... Yeah, exactly. That right there is what I was kind of worried about. These guys don't have a lot of good ways to regain ground. Makes it very difficult for them to recover from a push. That's the leopard's biggest... I'm sorry, the leopard. The leopard's biggest weakness is that he can be pushed around very, very easily. His push resist is not so good, and then when he's out of position, he has no way to get back in position. And it can be pretty horrifying in certain situations. Stressful incantation's out, but he's going to dodge it. Not known for their dodginess, lepers. Not known for their dodginess, but for whatever reason, they managed to pull it off. I'm going to keep the AoEs flowing, because we got a lot of bleeds around right now. So I'm trying to offset that bleed damage. There's another kill. Fished out a kill right there, too. I told you, Dismas for me. Big bad Dizzy. Big bad Dizzy Bear, always killing everybody.
That overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
We got the double-edged pendant, which is a pretty solid piece of equipment. I'm going to ditch the Jade to take that because it's worth 1,500. We do need the deeds. And so in needing the deeds, I'm going to eat some more food. This guy right here, let's see, there's nothing of value inside. That doesn't speak well of the value of the corpse. Poor little bastard. However, oh my god, we got a bunch of battles in front of us, don't we? We're going to be fighting the night away. Medicinal herbs? No. Anti-venom? No. Bandages? Ah. Bandages. That's the secret to unwrapping a mummy, apparently. Bandages. It makes sense in retrospect. It makes sense. We don't have any holy water, so I'm not going to mess with that thing. Sometimes you get a buff out of it, even if you don't have holy water, but it's a risk. It's a risk that I'd rather not take. Got a grave nibble right there, but he's going to stay out of the way. We've only got a little bit of health missing, so, you know, let's throw around an AoE heal. I'm going to have him work on his stress since it is looking a little bit high. I prefer to keep them below 2 pips if I'm going to take them into the next mission. 4 to 5 pips is where I start thinking about putting them in for a little bit of recuperation. Oh, we got no treasure.
Trifling victory.
But a victory nonetheless. We were unable to surprise the enemy. Oh! Calling down that holy lightning, burning the holy flame of Sigma. By the two-tailed comet, die, heretic. I like Warhammer a little too much. I have few obsessions in life. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Hey, he got a low damage roll. That's good. Arrgh. That could also be problematic if they stack it up a couple of times. Stack, 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 stack it up. Stack, 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 stack it up. Stack. Oh, good. He resisted, but now he's been marked. He has been peed upon by the 4 table-legged creature of the forest. with its weird bulbous beehive trypophobia triggering thing on its butt. AoE! Oh. I get the feeling these critters must have some prot. Yeah, I was gonna say, they feel like they have prot. He normally hits a lot harder than that, so I was starting to get the feeling that conceivably we might be dealing with a creature that has some damage resistance. It's okay, though. We'll just keep working on him. Rain of Blight right there. Good. Didn't accomplish much with those stacks. Part of me is tempted to move him up to the front. Corpses everywhere. Corpses everywhere. Ah, another dodge. Dodgy little bastards. There it is. Sometimes you gotta keep that heal going. You do have a couple people with, like, problematic amounts of damage on them right now. Gonna crack this bad boy open with a key and see what kind of treasure we get out. Probably something sexy. 4 deeds. Okay, we're not making much money this run. But that said, we are getting lots of deeds and other things for updating the town. So you win some, you lose some. Like, I don't want to be overly greedy in this situation. Crate is empty. Not going to mess with that. Keep the light radius up because we spent the... Oh, Jesus. Apparently we surprised the collector. I don't know how we'll do against him this time around. I think we would do better. I don't know, though. What's his stun resist? 50%? See if you can stun him. Ah, it was worth a try. It was worth a... Oh! A decisive pummeling. There goes Collect Call. Let's see what we get. A healer and 2 rogues. The goal here is going to be to keep damage on him as much as possible. He'll run Lifesteal. Ooh, and he got a big hit with it too. Jesus. Alright. Well, keep hitting that back line. I'll have these guys work on the front. Their damage is going to be a considerable problem. However, we should be able to get rid of them pretty quickly because we've got enough AoE to really make him suffer. And you've got enough AoE, and you've also got a couple of backline characters. It's not so bad. Let's get him. There it is. We got the Collector. So the Collector's not that bad. We just got him at an inopportune time the last time we were playing. And that's all I'll really say about it. Hopefully she can't res anybody or do any weird, obnoxious shit like that. Was not expecting to get the Collector. Was not expecting to get the Collector at all.
Push on to the task's end.
Dismas is a little shook right now. Okay, that's not as bad as it could have been. That could have been a lot worse. The group that we've got to fight against is alright. Let's go ahead and focus some heals on Dismas real fast. Keep Dizzy G nice and healed. Start working on these guys right here to see if we can bring them up to the front line. Okay. That's fine. That's cool. We still got options. I can still make this happen. It didn't go exactly how I wanted, but you can't always get what you want. Yeah, Eldritch pulling him is a bad idea if he's got point blank shot. He doesn't while we're on the subject, but just saying. Could have been a poor decision for you. A decision that lacked pecuniary advantage. Those health meters filled up a little bit more. All in all, this has been a very, very successful run. There's a lot of things that can go wrong out here. Like, for example, what's happening to them right now. Perfect example of things that could go wrong. That Eldritch push is not going to matter in the long term. Get a little bit of loving on the leper, too, because I think his health is a tad lower than I'd prefer it to be. Big swing and a miss right there. Big damage means big misses is what it is. Aim small, miss small, and all that shit. Perfect.
Gently.
So now that he's down, she's down, bled to death. I got a key left, right? Good. Because we need all the treasure we can get out of this bad mama gemma. Ooh, ooh, one bad mama gemma. And I'm gonna use my firewood. Seems like a reasonable time to do so.
Continuous firelight and uneasy companionship.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and do Bandit Sense, because there's not a ton of things for us to do right now. During the camping screen, they give you a brief amount of respite. You're going to go ahead and use that respite, however you pronounce it. I've heard people pronounce it differently. Might be pronouncing it wrong, but whatever. Doesn't matter. It's a perfect opportunity to limit the amount of stress that you end the level with on your characters. I thought that was an AoE. It did seem a little cheap, didn't it? Let's go ahead and I'm going to take Greaser to the... Yeah, let's heal everybody else's stress so that he's backing out of the way. And then what we do is we take Band-Aid to fix the damage that we just caused. And now that we're out of time, they'll have a little conversation. It doesn't matter. Not really relevant.
We require only the strength to follow it.
We're actually pretty close to finishing this thing off. Do I have an extra shovel? I do have extra shovels. Grave digging is paid off. Who buries themselves with a portrait? Seems like an odd thing to bury yourself with, right? Let's just run a holy water on somebody, I guess. That'll be fine. Because that's 500 gold right there. That's enough gold to where I don't want to miss out on it. And we haven't taken a whole lot of cash from this adventure. We've gotten a lot of other stuff. But this has been a pretty cash-poor adventure. Banditos, ready to go. We're going straight to the back line with our first attack because I don't want to get a critical blanket fire. A critical blanket fire can cause just an insurmountable amount of stress, and so I'm always paranoid about it. Oh, good. You always got to watch out for those AoE crits in this game. They've always been nasty, and they continue to be nasty. I mean, there's not that much you can do about them, all things considered. Oh, he resisted. That's nice. I'm going to keep focusing on our frontline friend here. Use the term friend very loosely. Blanket fires back out, and that was a pretty good blanket fire right there. Oh, we get debuffed? Oh, we lose dodge. Interesting. Keep shooting. He's got to go. These bandits, I don't know why I don't worry about them, but they tend to not be... I don't know, I just don't think of them as a threat, which is weird because they are. They really sincerely are. They're a tough foe. Especially in this configuration.
Perhaps the turning point.
They're fast, they deal a lot of damage. They're not particularly resilient, but they're still something that you should pay attention to, you know? Snipe to the back row to get that crit out. He's got 3 health remaining. Let me see if I can get this corpse out of the way. Hack our way through this thing. And then also... Ooh, that wasn't good. Oh well. It'll have to do for right now. Poor bastard's bleeding to death. Every time I use my holy water, we find something that we need to consecrate. Shank out to the back line, no crit off of it, so that's the only thing that I was concerned about. Down he goes. Another victory for us. Cleaning our way through here, not doing too badly. Not doing too badly.
Pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
There's no more barriers. So I'm gonna ditch. Ditch the torches. I'm gonna ditch the shovel since there's no barriers left. The key might be useful, but I think we're just gonna have to leave it and hope that we don't get luggage in the next room. He's a little bit more wounded than I would like as a frontline character. It figures. Oh well, go for it. Got himself the Ew! That's pretty gnarly. That's a pretty bad disease. Huh. As far as diseases go, that is one of the more unpleasant. Alright, maggots. It's time to go. I'll probably fire him then, and then I'll get the other guy to fill in his spot. I shouldn't have done that. That was stupid. I should have healed Dismas. Oh. Hi there. You like dodging. I see that now. A little bit more. Yeah, it figures.
Promises success.
It just figures. The things I throw away, I always get those in the next room. Oh, another nasty fight. Okay. Nothing we can't handle. Oh. Alrighty then. If you're wondering why the whip causes bleeding, it's because he's got a cat of nine tails. It's a special type of whip that's barbed. Cat of nine tails is essentially a multi-headed whip where they tie little knots in the leather at the end of each head. And if you can get it up to speed, it's very heavy braided leather, so it picks up speed in the air. And if you can get the whip just right, it can cause some damage. What happens is the little knots in the end up digging into the flesh. Sometimes they'll leave like a little tassel on the end of it that they sharpen a little bit. Cat of nine tails is a gnarly item. It is definitely cruel and unusual. Huh. Oh man. It's not going so well for us right now. I doubt we're gonna die or anything, but we've had a lot of really inopportune misses that are causing us some problems. Another big hit right there. Moving us towards... I was hoping for crits right there because she casts 4 times individually on everybody. Sometimes you fish out crits on those ones and it can be really, really useful. Fortunately, our little buddy right here ain't dead, and it depends who he goes after, but... Hey, we got a big dodge right there at the right time, too. Good. It seems like we keep getting lucky at all the right moments. I don't really know what else to say about that. Getting unlucky, though, too. Strangest thing, isn't it? Lots and lots of missing going on for some reason. There. Final fight completed on our medium run-through. Hell and Beyond. You can use stuff straight from the loot thing right there, too, in case you were wondering. It's an unlocked strongbox. Might as well look. The contents are yours. Let's ditch everything that we brought along that we didn't end up using. Take them, and that's a successful mission for us. Let's bounce on out, kids.
Driving out corruption is an endless battle, but one that must be fought.
That's a good run for us right there. We needed a cash infusion very, very badly. So 12,000 gold. It's a risk taking low-level characters into long runs, but when you're successful, it can really, really, really give you the materials you need in order to be successful. All in all, yeah, Cave Scrounger, okay, and Ruminator. That's not good. Ruminator actually counteracts the build that we're using on him right now.
Caretaker. I fear his long-standing duties here have affected him.
So that's it. The Nasty Estate continues to grow and get stronger. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Darkest Dungeon. I will see you all in future episodes. Bye, everybody.